Hello viewers, welcome to the video. I am Narayan Swami and in this video I am going to talk about how to secure your mobile phones from the cyber crimes. If this is your first video from my channel, then I will recommend you to watch my other videos on data confidentiality, social engineering attacks and securing financial exposures from the cyber crimes. So coming back to mobile phones, especially the smartphones, are now our integral part of the daily life. We spend a lot of time on the smartphones, either talking to someone or interacting on the social media or even for doing the financial transactions. So securing these smartphones is very essential. So let us see some of the best practices to secure your mobile phones. The first best practice I will suggest for the smartphones is to enable the PIN code or the passcode for your lock screens. It can be any numeric number or the letters or the pattern, depending on the mobile phone that you use. It is very much essential because if you leave your phone unattended for few minutes also, it is quite possible that someone can install malwares on your phone and track your all the transactions. Consider the situations where you forget your phone at libraries or public gardens or even any shopping mall. You may get back your phone, but it is quite possible for the criminals, if someone is following you, to install any malware that hacks your phone and transmits all the data and conversations that you do on your phone to the criminal. Also consider the case where, say, your phone is got stolen. In that case, the thief will have all the access to the data that you stored on your mobile. So it is always good practice to put a PIN or passcode to your lock screen. And this you can do very easily from the security settings on your smartphone. The second best practice I will suggest is not to giving unnecessary permission to the apps that you download and install on your mobiles. Nowadays, a lot many mobile apps are being developed and those are available on Google Play or the App Store. But these stores do only basic checks whether these apps are virus free. That's it. They do not look at what is the actual code and what functionality these applications do. So whenever you download these apps, either because someone has recommended you or you want to download them for your age, then you need to keep one thing in mind, that when you are installing, you check what kind of permission these apps are asking. Most of the times we ignore that part, and while installing the application, we just allow them whatever things that app asks for the permission. But tell me that a mobile app that is needed for doing for online ordering, what is the need for that app to have access permission to your speakers or your microphone, your contact list, or even the files on the mobile phone? There is no need, correct? But if any of the apps ask for such unnecessary permissions, especially to the files or the storage on your mobile where you keep sensitive information, do not give the permissions, because it is quite possible that while it is serving the normal purpose of the application, but at the back end it may be collecting or monitoring the transactions, other transactions, and sending all the data to the criminal. So best practice is, while installing the app, if it is asking for the permission that you think that this permission is not needed, for the particular functionality, just deny it rather than allowing it. And the other thing you can do is you can go to your settings, and there you may see that a particular tab you can see, because for every mobile there will be some different menu will be there. I have copied these screenshots from a Realme phone. So there you can go to the app permissions tab, and you can see what kind of permissions are given for the some kind of functionality. Say make a call. If you can see, there are 6 applications which have permissions to make a call. So if you go drill down into it, and you'll see what all those. For example, it's WhatsApp is one which is having access to make a call, then probably that is valid. But if any other apps you see there, either you deny them or remove it from here, or uh, disable them, or if there is an option, ask for the permission every time you set for that. Because sometimes you may not be knowing whether that particular permission is needed or not for any particular app. So ask for the permission would be the good setting that you can do it, and do it on a regular basis or at least once in a month. The next one is keep checking the application that you have installed on your mobile phones. This is a good practice, because if your phone has been hacked or someone got the access in your absence and he has installed the application on your mobile phone, it is quite possible that the person can monitor all the transactions and the conversations you do on your phone. So keep checking for that. There could be the virus or malware that might have installed on your phones. So if you think that any of the application is not installed by you, or you don't know what that application is, just simply remove it from the app management setting on your mobile. The other best practice I will suggest is, whenever you are installing the apps on your mobile, do not download them from the links that are provided in SMS or WhatsApp messages or emails. So many phishing scam happens through such messages. So never click on those links to download the applications. It may find it easy for you to just click and download it, but it's not a best practice or good practice at all. Always, if you think that what is the functionality of that app and you want to have it on your mobile, always go to the Google Play or the App Store and download from there only. The other best practices I will suggest is, if you are using the wallets on your mobile for doing the payments, and if you are recharging those wallets using your debit card or credit cards, never store that information in the wallets. It may find quite easy for you to save this card information in the wallets and recharge it whenever you need it. But in case someone hacks your mobile, then it is easy for him to get information of all your card and use it for the financial frauds. The other best practice I will suggest is not to install the apps on your mobile that keeps you logged in permanently, which means uh, once you configure those apps, just by one click you can access the required information, or you can do the transactions just on the one click. For example, your Facebook or maybe WhatsApp, your mails which are configured on your mobile. So once it is configured with your authentication information, just by clicking on those apps, it opens up for you, not requiring for any further authentication. So still, these social media apps where you do not uh, share or keep your confidential or the financial information, those are safe because those apps you may be using very frequently during the day. But if you are using any banking app or the shopping apps where it gives a facility to log in and keep you logged in always, then do not configure them in that way or do not install those apps. If it doesn't give you option to log off and re-log in for every transaction. Because if your phone gets hacked or it is stolen and someone will have access to all this information, then they can easily do all the transactions using those apps, or they can read all the financial or the data information, card data information from there. So I will suggest do not use or do not install those apps on your mobile, especially when the financial transactions is involved or transaction data is involved. There are some of the apps which we generally use on almost daily basis, like payment apps, your Paytm or Google Pay. So these applications or these apps were also earlier used to give default login option, and it was not allowing you to log off. So you could do the transactions on one click, as I mentioned earlier. But now these apps have come with the security features like password protect, which allows you to key in the password every time you do a transactions. So for such apps, enable the security features, especially if these apps are finance related apps. So that's all in this video. If you find the content useful, then do like my video and subscribe to my channel to get notification about for future videos on cybersecurity. If you want to have videos on any specific uh, subject, then do write me in the comments and I will make the videos at the earliest. Thank you.